I could work for her, why not? And I said, maybe this will be my way into something. I know I wanted to do something in music because unfortunately I wasn't getting paid from digital. I had a Backstreet Boy website, I had a J.D. Williams fan group, you know, I had thousands of people coming to it, but I wasn't making any money. I was spending more money, you know, into maintaining it. So I entered the contest, I wrote her from my heart, and I was just very honest. And her intern, Mike, called me and said, hey, Angie Martinez, like what you have to say. She likes your business model, and she wants you to come down. So I'm thinking, I got an internship. I didn't know what an internship exactly was. I thought it was a job, like a low-paying job. So I was like, I got an internship, I got a job, and I was very excited. And I remember I asked my mom, I said, hey, I need $20. I got to go into the city to work. And she was just like, what? I said, well, I sent an email to Angie Martinez on the computer, and then they wrote back and they called me. And this was early on when the email scam started, so my mother thought someone was scamming me or trying to kidnap me. So she was like, I'm not giving you the money. I was like, okay, well, just give me money so I can go get some pizza with friends. Yeah, I lied. I never went to go get that pizza. I actually went to New York. And when I went out there, I got there and I walked into the back room, and it was a room full of people like this. And I thought maybe they were having a Hot 97 staff meeting. So I was like, hey everybody, so what do you do here? They're like, oh, we're here for the apprentice contest. And I'm like, my job? I was like, what? So that's when I realized, like, I was like, Karen, if you really want this, you gotta buckle down and understand. I thought I already had it. I thought I was already in. And I said, Karen, this is where you're gonna have to work hard. The fear and everything that you feel has to go away, because either you're gonna get this position, or you're gonna have to go back home and tell my mama I lied. So it went down from 100 people to 30 to 10. You know, this was over a 2-week span. From 10 down to 3, I made the final 3. And unfortunately, she didn't pick me. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's over. And now I gotta go back to living my regular life and doing certain things. And Flex actually reached out to me and he said, you know, we want you to be a part of my show. So I worked for Flex for close to 4 years. And while I was there, you know, I was the perfect intern assistant possible, but I was still honing my craft. I know that I didn't want to be an intern, but I did that job very well. But at the same time, I was there, I'd be like, hey, Flex, let me do some video content. Let me take pictures with the celebrities. Let me do certain things so I can get this content over to hot97.com so they can feature you, because the digital team would leave at 5 o'clock, and Flex's show is from 7 to 12. So unless you were like Jay-Z, you wouldn't be on the website. So I would do whatever it took to build Flex's digital portfolio online on the website. And you know, he just really didn't care. You know, he didn't get it, and the people up there didn't get it. So now I had to go, Karen, do you want to stay here where it's a great cushy position? You know, I'm getting paid now. And I said, you know, you get to be the cool kid, you get to do certain things, but you're not really living in your purpose. You're not really doing what you want. So, you know, I had to weigh out the pros and cons, and I decided, you know, thank you, Flex, for the opportunity, but I can no longer do this. This is not even what I really wanted to do. So I got a job working at Diplomat Records, and this was the first time, you know, where these guys let me build their online Dipset mixtapes. They let me build an online shop for them. I did everything that you could do for them. This was a group that was known in the tri-state area. Now people in Milwaukee and all these other places can buy their merchandise online. They can know where they are, setting up their touring and doing all these different things. And I was with them for close to 3 years, and just like every good group, what happens? You see what happened in One Direction the other day. So it's like they broke up. And now, you know, in a breakup situation, everyone is forced to pick a side. I said at this point, to me, they were best together. I don't want to pick a side. I don't want to go with Cam. I don't want to go with Jim. I said, at this point, I got to restructure and focus. I wanted to put all my time and attention into Flex. That didn't work. I put all my time and energy into Dipset, and it didn't work. I said, okay, maybe if I put it into one particular artist. So I'm not going to say his name, but I worked with this one particular rapper who was coming up. And, you know, I learned a whole bunch of stuff working with this person, from marketing to digital to promo, you know, getting them billboards, getting their song featured on Nike.com, getting Lil Wayne to do a remix with them. I did all this stuff for them, and when they got signed, it was just like, oh, I don't need you anymore. And that's when I realized, you know, my value. And I said, you know, you put this attention, Karen, you did again, you put this effort, intention into this person, and it didn't work out. I said, now, I'm gonna put all this focus and attention into myself, and I'm gonna build my own brand. I tried to build a brand with 3 other people. I wouldn't change anything, it didn't work. And I said, now I'm gonna build my own brand. I have a relationship with all these different artists, all these different people who are coming up. So what I'm gonna do is, I love music, I'm gonna showcase all these artists on my website, and it's not just gonna be about the ones you read about in the XXLs and the sources and things like that. I said, I want to showcase new artists, because these people, as my site grows, they'll grow and we can grow together. And this way, it's just like I'm building with them. It's not just getting, you know, the big interview, which is the 50 Cent. You know, my first interview was with Drake on his birthday in Starbucks. This was when he was like Aubrey in the wheelchair, you know? So this was like super, super early on. So, you know, from J. Cole to all the different artists, everyone started to hit. And the site continued to grow, and you know, as the site grew, I realized, like, Karen, you know, the site is growing, you have to grow as a business and a brand. Do you want to just keep the website? Do you want to do something else? And I knew my overall goal was to do digital media and marketing, and I'm a strategist. So the perfect time, well, I don't want to say the perfect time, because it's like, unfortunate situation, Lil Wayne was getting ready to go to jail, and when he went in, that week we spoke on the phone, and he said, I'm getting all these letters in the mail, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, because I can't write all these people back. And he said, well, I need you to figure out what you're gonna do, because I can't write everybody back. So I had this chalkboard wall in my house, and I would just write down all my ideas. And when I spoke to him in MacMade a few days later, I said, hey, you should start a Weezy Thanks You site. He was like, oh, I don't want to create a site. I said, no, this will be good. This will be something fresh. This will be new. We're going to launch it on Father's Day. You're going to put up exclusive pictures of your kids. People don't really know you, and you're going to give your fans an inside look at you. And he said, you know what? I trust you. Let's do it. So when the label reached out to pay me for helping him, they, you know, the same thing the lawyer was saying, is just like, who are we paying? What are we paying? What exactly is this service? So I said, let me call you back. Because I didn't even know. I didn't know what it was supposed to be. So then I remember speaking to my friend, my best friend Brian Miller at rapradar.com, and he was just like, well, Karen, you know, you have to have it. This is obviously a different business from KarenCivil.com. And I said, you're right. So then I created Always Civil Enterprise, which is my branding, marketing company. And from there, I got the LLC, I got the bank info, I made sure everything was aligned, I got the website, I made sure everything was correct and done properly, my tax ID, and I made sure it was copywritten, the logos were trademarked, and you know, when I called back and gave them the info, it literally took me like a month, so I was working for free for a little bit, and I gave them the information, we launched the site, and Wayne garnered over 10 million hits the first day. So now I start my business with this large person, and from there it was kind of like a domino effect. You know, everyone reached out to me, from Mary J. Blige to Pusha T, Funkmaster Flex even called me. The same, yeah, J-Lo too. The same ideas that I wanted to do with Flex years ago, now he's calling me to do them and to create Inflex We Trust with him. So, you know, and I'm kind of glad everything happened the way it did, because you know, I was kind of frustrated with him. I was like, why don't you get it? Why don't you see it? Everyone's not going to see it. Everyone's not going to get it. And eventually, in time, what happens? You know, he eventually became a client. The service I was trying to give him for free, he eventually, a few years later, he paid for. So, you know, after my business started to take off, I came to LA for All-Star Weekend, and I was, you know, people use that time to party and to do everything else. I said, all the companies are here. I'm gonna go with my business card. I'm just gonna go meet all the big wigs, the people from Nikes, the people from Adidas, the people from Red Bull. I said, I want all those marketing dollars, and I want all those ads for my site. And I met someone from Beats by Dre. I went to their gifting suite, and they let me create a headphone. So after I created the headphone, I said, you know, I don't want to just create one for me. I want to create one for Lil Wayne. I created one for like 4 different celebrities that I have relationships with. And they gave me all this product. As opposed to taking the product and just giving it away to friends and family, I took it, and anytime I did an interview with a celebrity, I gave them that. I gave them that product. This was $300 headphones that just came out. Everyone wasn't getting them yet because they were expensive. People weren't spending that much money on equipment like that, especially on something that was, you know, being pushed by Dre. So people would send me their photos of different things and say thanks for the headphones or whatever the case may be. And I took all those images, everything sent, and I made a marketing deck. And I sent it over to the people at Beats. I said, hey, you know, thank you so much for the product. Just so you know, these are people who appreciated the headphones you gave me. Hopefully we can work on something in the future. You know, here's some ideas. They never had that before. They never had someone approach them in such a way that they offered me a position. You know, it was no resume. It was no come in and meet with us. I was back in Jersey. And they sent me over an offer sheet the next day. And 2 weeks later, I moved to LA. This was about 4 years ago. And from there, it's literally been, it's you know, it's like a roller coaster ride, but I wouldn't change it no other way. You know, being at that office and continuing to grow my Always Civil brand, and then continuing to go to KarenCivil.com, and then starting my whole Live Civil initiative started from me moving out here and not having any female friends, and me wanting to bring all the women together. So yeah, it's been about 4 years. Site continues to do well, the business continues to do well, and you know, I left Beats last year because I felt like all my focus was going back into them, and I said, you know, this is a company who I'm making millions of dollars, but I'm taking home thousands, but I'm not happy. So I said, I want to go back and focus on me. I want to focus on my brand, which also helps elevate people around me, and especially young entrepreneurs. So that's what I have been doing, especially with like my Live Civil initiative, and I'm happy. Believing in myself helped me make my first $1 million.
Okay.